It's time to get the FTX Zorro up and running. Roll the intros. Hello YouTubers and welcome back to another video from Chelmswood RC. Today we're going to get the FTX Zorro up and running. What do I mean by that? We're going to start the braking process. So without further ado, I'm going to spin the camera around and we're going to show you how we're going to get my cars ready for action. So like I said, here is the beastie. Let's get her out of her little packaging. Get her out and let's have a look at her. Get rid of that. So, like I said, this is the FTX Zorro Nitro version, and it's a 1/10 scale short course buggy. So, straight away, I've made a little bit of a modification to the FTX Zorro, and what I've done is straight away I put on a fuel filter. These don't come with the cars, these are an aftermarket part, but I always get these even though I've got a filter on my electric pump system, but it's always good to have a filter before it goes into the carburetor. And I've also gone ahead and, sorry about the traffic, gone ahead and put filter oil all over the part for the filter. What am I going to do to get this ready? Straight away, going to get me engine heater, pop that on top, try and squeeze it round in between the filter so it sits on there nicely. It's already plugged into a Volts 500 milliamp 11.1 volt 3S lipo. If you are going to buy one of these engine heaters, they do need at least 9 volts and above, so a 2S lipo is not going to do this, so hence why I'm using 11.1 3S. And all you do is literally turn it around, press the button, and I don't know if you can see that guys, but there is a little red light on there. That is now heating the engine. I have gone ahead and charged up my glow plug igniter as well, and I have also fitted, because I did check the glow plug on that, it was a cold plug. Cold plugs are for warmer times of the year. In the UK at the moment it's only about 1 or 2 degrees, and we are expecting snow tonight in February. So if there is snow out here tomorrow, I might even get this one out or the HPI bullet out. But this is ready, that's now heating up. The fuel's ready in the tool case, so once that's done the heating cycle, we're going to start getting it fueled up. So like I said, while that's still heating, I'm going to get the end of the fuel nozzle, poke it in the chamber, turn the power on, and again I use a 7.4 volt 2-cell lipo to power the electric fuel pump. Once I've finished fueling up, I take the nozzle out, put the pump into reverse. Once you hear the difference in the tone, that means there's no more fluid in the line. So that's now empty. So that is basically the car now ready. But before I go any further and pause the camera again, I'm going to turn the radio on, turn the car on as well, check that I've got throttle, and also check that I've got steering as well. So yeah, all the electrics is good to go. So all we need to do now is wait for about 5-10 minutes for the heater to warm the engine up, and we're good to go. So I'm going to pause the camera quick guys, and then once it's ready we'll get it on its first start. So as you can see, the heater is still warming up, and if I put my finger just on the exhaust there, I can actually feel that the heater is starting to heat the engine up and also transfer the heat through to the exhaust. Takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Once you know it's finished, is this little red light there will go out, and that's when the heater has finished its cycle. It's kind of like what the F1 teams use to warm their tyres up. It's exactly the same thing, but obviously on a smaller scale. So now the engine heater has now turned off, so I'm going to remove the heater and the lipo out of the way. Blow starter ready, and also radio ready. First of all, put your finger over the exhaust, give it tugs a few times to get some fuel into the lining, into the carburetor. Always turn your radio on first, then the RC, steering, throttle and brake. And now, for the first time in my ownership, let's see if this little puppy will start. Just like that. It's up and running. Don't worry about it going fast like that. You can slow it down with a throttle trim. Now I've just turned the throttle trim down by using these two here. So if I press this one a couple of times, you hear it speeding up. I've just slowed it down. Now you just have to let it tick over for that first full tank. Now, as you can see, it has literally just turned itself off. Don't panic about that, because it is its first tank. The engine is tight, so just put the igniter back on. Start up again. And just let it run. Let it do its thing. See, again, it's gone again. Don't panic. It is its first engine, first fuel tank. The engine is tight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the throttle trim up a little bit. Hopefully it shouldn't cog out. So as you can see, it's now starting to settle down. The engine's now starting to get lubricated and start to bed in. And so far it's done about a quarter of a tank. It takes a while on idle to go through a whole tank, but it's all part and parcel of the bedding in process. It has to be done, and you do have to do it from the manufacturer's instructions. So the next run will be actually moving. So what seemed an absolute eternity, the first tank has gone through the engine. I did have a problem with the servo. The electronics in there was getting a bit claustrophobic, if you want to put it like that. Wasn't really getting signal, and it was going into the fail-safe mode, because this one, the actual receiver's got a fail-safe already built in, and the receiver wasn't getting signal properly because of all the cables from the radio set, and obviously it was putting it into fail-safe mode, and obviously it was tripping the engine out. But we will now refuel it and give it its first real run. Again, once you fueled it up, put it in reverse, drain the fuel out the line and pop it up there, and we're going to get it started now for its first run. Let's just hope and pray it starts just as easy as it did on the first one. Does help if I prime the engine. So we're getting them going. First lift you up a bit. So on the first tank, you just give it little tiny little bursts, and straight away I can see that its steering trim is going to the left. So try and correct that. Just give it quick little bursts like that. This will be the second tank. So that's the second tank done. So now for the third tank. Make sure everything's on. Put some pressure on it. So we're now doing quarter throttle. Bring it up a bit so you can see a bit more. And quarter throttle, as you can see, this is pretty quick, even at quarter throttle. Brakes are pretty good. Don't forget we're still braking the engine in, so you give it short bursts. Short bursts of quarter throttle. Okay guys, that's all the running done. This is the last tank on full throttle, and if you want to know, I'm using Opti fuel, Opti mix 25 RTR. That's the fuel that I'm using. Now I've got the body on, so let's see what she does on full throttle. Now if this is anything like this is rapid. The brakes on it are set very well. I mean, I'm not even hitting full throttle, and as you can see, it's pretty quick. And it's just gone for a tumble wumble. Pretty good on the jumping on and off the curb, so it's got pretty good suspension. Do need to get some body clips for the front end, because the left hand side is, as you can see, drooping to the left hand side. So, the FTX Zorro has now been, well, what can we say? The engine has now been running, and yeah, I'm a little bit scared. For a budget Nitro RC, bearing in mind I have got the HPI Bullet 3.0, this is a damn sight quicker than the HPI Bullet, and I mean a lot quicker. Now, bearing in mind I haven't tuned the engine on this one or the HPI Bullet yet, but obviously that is to come. Obviously at the moment it is still cold in the UK. It is in February. We are forecast to get snow tonight. Oh sorry, not February, March, do apologise. We are in March, and we are forecast to get quite a bit of heavy snow tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. So if we do get some snow tonight, then that'll be another video for tomorrow. I'll be getting the HPI Bullet out and giving that a whirl on the old in the old snow. But what do I think of the FTX Zorro? Absolute epic little buggy. Will I be using it often? Most definitely. I've got a nice little area down where my mum lives in Plymouth and Devon. Nice dirt track, dirt pavements, nice few bumps and lumps of bumps in the grass in places. So yeah, we've got some places that we can run it. I'm gonna have to find somewhere local to where I live where I can run these things properly, because up and down my street we're not getting much for entertainment out of it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. As always, I've enjoyed making it for you. If you have, please, as always, smash that like button down the left hand side. If you're not a subscriber and you want to become a subscriber, you know how it works. Just hit the little subscribe button down the right hand side, click on the little bell icon, select all, and then you'll get notified of every video that I publish. If you want to carry on watching videos from my channel, there should be a link coming up here and here. Until the next time, guys, stay safe, protect your loved ones, but above all, happy modelling, and bye bye from Chelmswood RC.